among young people, among children, among older people in St. Michael South Central. When I first started walking around, one of the things that struck me was the idea, the sentiment that was shared by people, that they feel as if they have no representation. They feel as if they don't see anybody, they don't hear anybody, nobody's doing anything for them and for their communities. But what was especially striking for me is that one of the first, and I heard Brady say just now, stay on the blocks. And I want to say that that cannot be said loudly enough. Because you don't just represent a handful of people. You don't just represent people in the color and time. You are representing the entirety of your constituency, and you have to meet people where they are. And the only way that we are going to get past and get through these issues that we are having with crime and a lack of rule of law and a lack of real access to justice, the only way we are going to start to solve that problem is by taking a step back from this approach we have to policing, right? Locking up people, driving people off the road, right? I am not condoning crime. I believe that there are things on which we have to take a harder line. Don't get me wrong. But I am saying that dealing with issues of citizen security has to be more than policing people and locking them up and coming on the block and batting up a man. It has to be about more than that. Because where did it start? Right? Young people feel disengaged, they feel marginalized, they feel disenfranchised, and I'm not at all saying, please, when you go from here, don't tell anybody Marshall Candy said. I am not condoning this criminal activity. I am saying that we have to step back and look for new solutions to dealing with this thing. When I go around on the blocks, some people don't realize you see the word block. We got blocks, right? When I go around on the blocks in St. Michael South Central, I hear a lot of ideas, I see a lot of energy, I see a lot of passion, and you know what? One of the first comments I got when I hit the ground in St. Michael South Central seeking this nomination is a young man who said to me, man, listen, I ain't looking for nothing for myself, but this community want the pit toilets that they have being removed. This old lady up on the hill there, she needs somebody to go and look in on her. This is a young man on the block, 19 or 20 years old. This road here, they got a lady that she can't walk too good, and she's go and pick up her grandchildren from school, and when she's walking through, she's ring she foot all the time. He has not yet asked for one thing for himself. You understand me? And we talk about young people this and young people that. That young man is engaged in his community and wants to be more engaged. And we need to go to him, find him where he is, hear what he has to say, and then what? Ask him, how are you going to contribute to making your community better? Come with me. And this is what we're going to do. That is what has to be done. All this talk about staying off the blocks and who you're associating with and pick them up and carry them where. Listen, I find that alarming. As somebody who is very invested in the future and the well-being of young people in this country, I find it alarming. I plan to stay on the blocks.
Right.
You understand me? Because a lot of the ideas and a lot of the energy and what is going to take these constituencies and this country forward is these young people. And a lot of the reason that they're out there looking disengaged and seeming disengaged, but I say seeming because sometimes we don't know, we pass and look at them and say, look at him, look, can't even go on fence with him. And a lot of the time, we don't know what his or her passions are, where their interests are. I talked to another young man who, I tell this story all the time, who I went to visit his home, and his mother said, man, he don't like the hard work. His father would carry him out with him to work, and he's sitting on the whole day and complaining with his son, he don't like the hard work. I said, okay, well, what would he like to do? She said, he always on a phone building apps, building video games, building apps. I said, you know that this video game business and this app making business is the future of of the global economy. This is where the money is, right? And I turned to the young man and I said to him, listen, in St. Michael South Central, we are going to do some technology-based access to employment programs, right? And I want you to be the first one sitting there. In fact, beyond that, I want you to help me design these programs. Because he has built apps before. And you know what? In this country and in this CARICOM region, we have a unique problem. That small islands, small, high and middle income countries like ours tend to have. Which is that we have a high cost of everything, high cost of inputs to produce everything, and high cost of transport. A man will build some tables and some chairs and can't get them from the port. It is not unique to Barbados, let me make that clear. It is a problem that we have of high transport costs within the region, because you will find that it might cost you less to ship something to Miami than it would to ship something to St. Lucia. So we have this issue of high cost of logistics in the region, and problems with organizing our logistics in general, and that has to do with the level of the quality of governance in this country and in the region, and that's something that I will get to after October 2nd. Economics is about provisioning of goods and services to people, right? That is what it is about fundamentally. So it might seem as if it is just about a lot of moving numbers around and making ourselves feel as if, we are doing very big, important things up there in the global scene. But when it comes down to it, I ask, whenever I have students in front of me, and we are talking about economics, or I'm giving a lecture on economics, the first question I ask is, what is economics for? What is it for? Because it is not this black box that nobody can understand. We understand what it is for. It is to serve us. What you do with the country's economy is to serve people. But it is not going to serve people if you don't get certain things right. And one of those things is governance. So you could come and bring $100 million to me. And what is going to matter is not the fact that I have $100 million, but how I manage it. What is the strength of the institutions that govern service delivery? How strong are those institutions? It is not just about whether they have money. I keep hearing about how we have no money. The country has no money. The fiscal issues, and this is where the garbage is out there, and this is where they're rats running around. It is also about how you are managing your institutions. Right? So you could take $100 million and dig a hole and put it in there. You still have $100 million. But is it working for your people? So I just wanted to give some introductory remarks. I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what is driving me to do this work. What is driving me to seek to engage the thoughts and the ideas and the passions of the people of St. Michael South Central for the greater good of Barbados on the whole. And I want to thank you for your attention today.
I want to touch on Marsha because she readily accepted the invitation to speak here this evening. I have not known Marsha long, perhaps not as long as Brady has known her in terms of where her navel string is buried. I'm glad to know certainly that her navel string is buried in this constituency. And I listen carefully to all the candidates when they speak about entering public life and what they bring to the table. And I must tell you, and I say this from the heart, I am very impressed with Marsha Callis. I don't say that because she's a female, because as far as I'm concerned, I was raised to think in this way. It is not about you being a woman or you being a man or you being Barbados Labour Party or Democratic Labour Party. It is about what you can offer to your country. And from what I can hear from her and what she speaks about, how she brings over what I consider to be very difficult issues for people to understand and appreciate, which relates to the economy of this country, how it works and how it affects you. I can say readily that she's the type of person that I would like to see in making up the next Barbados Labour Party. And I was not born to know that, because many of you may know Gil is family to me. But and may the best person win. But I make it very clear, and I am going back on that, that at the end of the day, this going down is not about family. We get into problems with families first before. So we can't afford to make the same mistake again. I am not backing you because I feel you and I have the same bloodline. I am not backing you because you and I share the same political party. I am backing you because I believe that you have something to offer, and that I feel that you can add value to what the Barbados Labour Party currently has as its slate of members of parliament. And so I wish Marsha all of the very best from the bottom of my heart. I would like that we can give her some support. I have been hearing for a while, because you know I'm involved in football, and through football I spend a lot of time in Woodlands Hill. So I always hear Richard Seeley getting cursed 24/7. He's never present. I think I've given out more trophies in St. Michael South Central than he has. And it speaks volumes in terms of the attitude towards representation. Yes, he has a ministry that requires him sometimes to be out of the country, but he also has a Ministry of Tourism and International Transport, which should also, if he had the foresight, allow him to be able to bring some of that expertise and some of his connections back to the constituency to benefit the same people in technology that Marsha has spoken about, or the same people in sports, or the same people in music. And so for me, it is very difficult when I hear the people in St. Michael South Central say they don't have, proper representation. They don't see Richard Seeley. He sends the trophies, and then he doesn't turn up. And you start to realize that representation nowadays, in particular, people like to see, even if it is for 5 minutes of your time, 5 seconds of your time, a phone call, people at least still want to know it is not just what you send or who you send, but yes, they want to actually see you physically there. So I believe Richard Seeley, just like any of the other members of the Democratic Labour Party, their records are not picture perfect. It is not going to be difficult for Marsha, and certainly to be able to speak to what the lack of performance has been on the part of certainly Mr. Seeley or any member of the Democratic Labour Party. It ain't hard. We ain't got to go far. We ain't got to go and go in a bag and start to pull straws to figure out what it is that the government has not done. Everybody, from the smallest child to the oldest person, knows that this administration is perhaps the worst administration on the planet. And what is perhaps even more telling is that when you hear Democratic Labour Party supporters tell you this, you got it early. Because I have found, in the last election, people will say, I'm not voting for you, I'm not going to work against you. So they make their position clear. But when they come now and they tell you, I may not vote for this idea, but this government is the worst. I definitely can't vote for the person who's working against you. Because to put another one back in is to do further damage to not only myself, but also to future generations to come. So for me, anybody entering public life right now, and I believe Marsha is younger than me, so she would replace me, I think, as the youngest member in parliament, which I'm not too pleased about. But I'm going to hold on to it for as long as I possibly can. And I'm going to try to look as young as I possibly can for as long as I possibly can, just to rub it in a little bit. But I think we need more women in public life. Women to me add a balance that men cannot. They add an impartiality to situations that men do not. And they have a way of dealing with circumstances, particularly our youth and our elderly, that men do not. It's that simple. And so I believe that adding people who have the financial background, people who have the grassroots background, the Barbados Labour Party right now, if you really dissect it, this slate of candidates is very diverse. It's very balanced. You have some people who are more focused on the social, some people who are focused on the economic side, some people who have strengths in both. And we have just an excellent leader in Mia Mormoti. For me, I don't think we could ask for more. We've produced the Covenant of Hope, which I hope all of you had the opportunity, or if you haven't, to get a copy of the Covenant of Hope here before you leave. But I believe that this speaks to, I think, what the generation of Marsha and myself feel very passionate about, which is that you can't carry on any longer not letting people know what you stand for.